Right now, somewhere in your bathroom, there is a little jar that cost you more than your last electric bill. The lid is heavy. The name sounds French or German or like it escaped from a science lab. And every single morning, you warm a pea-sized dot of it between your fingers and you smooth it onto your face. And you believe, because they spent millions of dollars making you believe, that this is the thing holding the years back. I'm going to tell you something the woman behind that beauty counter will never say out loud. A lot of what's in that jar is hope, and you paid full retail for it. If you're a woman over 50, this one is for you especially, because the anti-aging industry has a favorite customer, and I'm sorry to tell you, she's you. She's old enough to have a few lines she'd love to soften. She's settled enough to have a little money set aside. And she came up in a world that told her, over and over, that a woman's face is her currency. That is not an accident. That is a target painted on your wallet. I have spent weeks on this. I've read the ingredient lists. I've compared the prices ounce for ounce, not jar for jar, because that little trick is half the scam. I've gone through the reviews real women leave when there's no influencer in the room getting paid to smile. And I've listened to what dermatologists have been saying out loud for years, while the marketing departments quietly turn the volume all the way down. I'm not a doctor, and I will never pretend to be one in front of you. But I can read a label. I can read a price tag. And I can tell when a company is charging you $300 for something that does, more or less, exactly what a $20 tube already does. So here's the plan. Today, I'm naming 6 luxury skincare brands that, in my honest opinion, are robbing women over 50 blind, charging you for the jar, the magazine ad, and the celebrity on the billboard, and handing you back a moisturizer. But you stay with me all the way to the end, because I am not leaving you empty-handed. I've got 5 drugstore brands, 5 things you can grab at Target or CVS or Walmart this very afternoon, that in my opinion, flat out outperform the expensive stuff sitting on your shelf. The last one of those 5 is the one I keep in my own cabinet. Before we get into it, do me one small favor. Comment which of these is sitting in your bathroom right now. Be honest. There is zero judgment here. We have every one of us been sold the same beautiful dream. And if this is already making you rethink your shopping list, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because this channel goes after the beauty industry every single week, and we do not sugarcoat a thing. Let's start the countdown. Number 6, SK2. You know the bottle even if you've never bought it. That frosted pearly bottle that looks like it was carved out of sea glass. And you know the legend, because the legend is the entire point. The story goes that scientists watched the smooth, youthful hands of the women working in a Japanese sake brewery, and out of that came their miracle, this fermented liquid they trademarked as Patera. It promises that glass skin, lit from within glow. Your favorite actresses swear by it. It is treated like a sacred object across half of Asia and on every red carpet. But here is what they do not lead with on the billboard. SK2 is owned by Procter & Gamble. Yes, the same company that makes your laundry detergent, your dish soap, and your disposable razors. And that frosted bottle of facial treatment essence will run you somewhere around $100 to well over $200 for what is, at the end of the day, a fermented yeast filtrate. Now, is fermented ferment bad for your skin? Not at all. It hydrates. It can give you a little glow. But in my opinion, the gap between what it does and what it costs is one of the widest in this entire business. You are not paying for chemistry. You are paying for a frosted bottle and a beautiful fairy tale about brewery hands. For a woman on a fixed income refilling this every couple of months, that is hundreds of dollars a year. And for the price of 1 year of this essence, you could go sit in an actual dermatologist's office and get advice that's built for your face. A gorgeous bottle, a lovely story, a drugstore essence in a tuxedo. And if you think paying conglomerate prices for a fairy tale is rough, wait until you meet the brand that turned a doctor's name into a $300 serum. Number 5. Dr. Barbara Sturm. Picture the bottles, clean, minimalist, clinical, like they belong in a high-end laboratory instead of a bathroom. There's a doctor's name printed right there on every single label, and a whole mystique built around blood and molecules, and calming your skin at the cellular level. The influencers adore it. The glossy magazine crowd treats it like a secret handshake. But strip the lab coat off of it for 1 second. These serums routinely run from around $185 to $275 a bottle. The whole brand is built on an anti-inflammatory philosophy. The idea that your skin is inflamed and needs to be soothed. And on hero ingredients like purslane, which is, I want to be clear, a plant extract. In my honest opinion, this is the influencer era's absolute masterclass. You take some legitimate sounding science words, molecular, anti-inflammatory, cellular. You put a real doctor's face on the box, and then you let Instagram do the rest of the work for you. That white coat is doing a tremendous amount of heavy lifting on that price tag. And here's the part that gets me, for women your age especially. You're being told this is doctor developed, and so it simply must be better, must be worth it. But doctor developed is not a regulated promise. It is a marketing phrase. You are quite literally paying a doctor tax on a bottle of plant extract, a doctor's name, a minimalist jar, a 3-figure price for something growing in a garden. But at least Sturm hands you a full-sized serum for your money. The next brand hands you a tiny little pot of cream and a receipt that'll make you sit down. Number 4. La Prairie. If money had a smell, it would smell like the La Prairie counter. The cobalt blue jars, the gold, the caviar, the platinum. This is skincare designed to look like it belongs locked inside a Swiss bank vault, sold to you at a counter where they lower their voices and sometimes hand you a glass of champagne while you decide. And the price absolutely matches the theater. Here's the fact they'd rather you didn't dwell on. La Prairie is owned by Beiersdorf. And Beiersdorf is the same parent company behind Nivea. Yes, the little blue tin of cream that's been rattling around the bottom of your grandmother's purse for 40 years. La Prairie's creams routinely run from several $100s into well over $1,000, and the platinum and caviar collections sit among the most expensive products you will find on any counter anywhere. Caviar extract, platinum, cellular complexes. In my opinion, this is pure luxury signaling dressed up in a lab coat. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The ingredients that genuinely move the needle on aging skin are not gold and they are not fish eggs. They are retinoids, peptides, antioxidants, and sunscreen. And not a single one of those costs $1,000. If you are a wealthy woman who's earned the right to a little theater, by all means enjoy it. But for any woman stretching her budget to finally afford the very best, I need you to hear this. You are stretching for the packaging. Those flecks of gold are not going into your collagen. They're going into the ad campaign. Caviar, platinum, a 4-figure jar of marketing. And at least La Prairie never once pretended to be humble about it. The next brand wraps the exact same overpricing inside a blue bottle and a celebrity's glow. And it might be the most famous jar in the world right now. Quick word before we keep going. If your shopping list is already starting to change as you watch this, do me a favor and subscribe, because we do exactly this every single week, and we have never once taken a brand's money to go easy on it. Okay, number 3, Augustinus Bader. You have seen this bottle even if you don't know the name yet. That deep, dark blue bottle that gets pulled out of a designer handbag in what feels like every single celebrity "What's in my bag" video on the internet. Jennifer Aniston, Victoria Beckham. The entire A-list seems to be in on it. There's the cream, there's the rich cream, there's a German professor of regenerative medicine, and there's a trademarked complex they call TFC8. It launched back in 2018, and it became a phenomenon almost overnight. Then you flip the little pot over and you see the number. The rich cream runs around $300 and up for 50 milliliters. A small pot. In my honest opinion, this is the purest example on the whole list, because there genuinely is a real scientist here and a real complicated sounding complex. And then there is a price tag that has so much more to do with Hollywood than it has to do with your skin. And the reviews are genuinely sharply split. Some people swear it changed their face. Plenty of others say, in so many words, that it's a perfectly nice moisturizer that happens to cost 9 paychecks. A nice cream, at a deeply not nice price. And for a woman over 50 watching her favorite actress credit her glow to this exact blue bottle, please remember something. That actress also has a private dermatologist, a weekly facialist, professional lighting in every photo, and a check in her bank account for mentioning the cream at all. You're being sold her whole life in a 50 milliliter pot. A celebrity glow. A trademarked complex. A $300 moisturizer. But now I have to put something on this list that I already know is going to make some of you genuinely furious with me. Number 2. Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. The little brown bottle. If you are over 50, the odds are very good that you have owned at least one of these in your life. Maybe your mother kept one on her nightstand and swore it was the reason her skin looked the way it did. Maybe you've quietly repurchased it 10, 12, 15 times over the years without ever once questioning it. It is the Holy Grail. It is the one bottle nobody in the comments ever dares to touch. And that right there is exactly why I'm putting it on this list. I know I'm about to make some of you really, really angry. So go ahead right now, tell me in the comments that I'm dead wrong about this one, because I honestly want to hear it. But in my honest opinion, Advanced Night Repair has been coasting on its reputation for a very long time. Here's a fact worth sitting with. It's owned by the Estee Lauder companies, which, by the way, is the very same conglomerate that owns La Mer, the brand I'm about to crown at number 1. The serum itself runs around $80 to $115 and up, and it's a hydrating antioxidant serum with hyaluronic acid and a few other genuinely fine ingredients. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's garbage. It isn't. But in my opinion, that formula is not doing one single thing that a good drugstore niacinamide and hyaluronic acid serum can't do for you at a quarter of the price. What you are really paying for is a legacy tax, the brand your mother trusted, quietly repriced for today's world. And loyalty, it turns out, is the single most expensive ingredient in that little brown bottle. So, to the woman who's bought it faithfully since the 80s, I am not telling you that you wasted your money all these years. I'm telling you that you could keep the exact same results going forward and keep the difference in your own pocket. A legend. A loyal following. A serum you can very nearly match on a drugstore shelf. And now, finally, the one I believe is the single most overhyped jar in the entire beauty industry. Number 1. La Mer. Of course it's La Mer, the frosted teal jar with the gold lid. The icon of icons. And oh, the legend behind it. The aerospace scientist who badly burned himself and then spent years and thousands of experiments brewing what they call the miracle broth, fermented from sea kelp, until he healed his own skin. There's even a ritual. You're instructed to warm a small amount between your fingertips before you press it into your face, like a tiny sacred ceremony every morning. This is the crown jewel of luxury skincare, the cream every other cream wants to be. So let's talk very plainly about what is actually inside that jar. La Mer is owned by the Estee Lauder companies. The crème de la Mer runs right around $200 for a single ounce, and well north of that for the larger jars. And the ingredient list, which is public, which you can pull up on your phone in 10 seconds and read with your own eyes, is led heavily by mineral oil and petrolatum. Beauty experts have been saying it bluntly for years. It is, in essence, a very nice, very expensive moisturizer. In my opinion, this is the single greatest marketing achievement in the entire history of skincare. You take petrolatum and a little seaweed, you wrap it inside a fairy tale about a broth and a miracle and a wounded scientist, and you sell it for the price of a car payment. There's no retinol in the magic. There's no proven anti-aging miracle in the magic. There is a beautiful story, and you are paying $200 a chapter. And for the woman on a fixed income who saved up for months to finally try the best cream in the world, you deserve to know that the best cream in the world is, by most honest accounts, a jar of beautifully packaged basics. Comment if you've had a quiet feeling all along that these companies were charging you for the jar and not for what's actually inside it. I think a whole lot of you have, and I think you've been right. A miracle broth, a $200 ounce, a moisturizer wearing a fairy tale. That is the 6. So before we get to the good news, go check your cabinet right now while you're thinking about it. And if you find any of these in there, I am not telling you to stand there and cry over what you already spent. That money's gone. I'm telling you to never, ever spend it again. Because here's the part that actually matters. The part the whole video has been building to. Not every brand is playing you. Take a breath. Because for every company on that list charging you for the costume, there is one quietly doing the complete opposite. Putting the real, proven, dermatologist-backed ingredients into a plain little tube. Charging you almost nothing for it. And just letting the results speak. Because the stuff that genuinely fights aging, retinol, vitamin C, niacinamide, peptides, and sunscreen, was never the expensive part. It was never the secret. It's sitting on a drugstore shelf right now, under those ugly fluorescent lights, 2 feet away from the cotton balls. Let me show you the 5 I trust the most. And the very last one is the one I would hand to my own sister. Number 5 on the good list. The Ordinary.
Let me show you the 5
This brand built its entire reputation on one genuinely radical idea. Just tell people exactly what's in the bottle and exactly what it costs. No story, no broth, no mystique. Their retinol 1% in squalane, their niacinamide, their hyaluronic acid. The active ingredient is printed right there on the front of the box, and most of the lineup costs you under $15. It goes on light, it sinks right in. There's no heavy perfume designed to trick your brain into feeling rich and pampered. You feel the squalane, not a fragrance. The Ordinary proves, cleaner than anyone, that you were never actually paying for the ingredient. You were paying for everything they wrapped around it. Number 4. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair. This is the drugstore staple that put real retinol within reach of basically everyone in America. The Rapid Wrinkle Repair line pairs genuine retinol with hyaluronic acid. It comes in fragrance-free options for sensitive skin, and it sits on the shelf at any Walgreens or Walmart for around $20 to $25. Shoppers leave thousands upon thousands of reviews, calling it their anti-aging weapon, and they're not wrong. It glides on, it absorbs fast, and it plays beautifully under your makeup and your sunscreen the next morning. Neutrogena proves the wrinkle cream that actually works does not need a velvet box. It needs retinol. And it's had it the whole time. Number 3. Olay Regenerist. This is the cream your aunt has been using faithfully for decades, and for once in this video, the loyalty is completely earned. Regenerist is built on niacinamide and peptides, 2 of the genuine workhorses of mature skin, the real deal, and it runs you around $25 to $30. It's been widely tested, and it is genuinely, deeply loved for a reason. It's rich enough for the drier skin that comes with being over 50, without ever feeling greasy or heavy. It plumps, it smooths, and you get that fresh, comfortable, well-rested feeling when you look in the mirror in the morning. Olay proves the cream that takes good care of your skin can take just as good care of your wallet. Number 2. Rosy Retinol Correction. Here's a fun fact the luxury counters won't mention. Rosy was doing retinol before retinol was even a buzzword. They're the originals. They're retinol correction. Deep Wrinkle Night Cream pairs stabilized retinol with antioxidants. It's clinically tested to soften the look of deep wrinkles over weeks of use, and it costs you around $25. Dermatologists name drop it constantly, almost reflexively. And it feels like a proper night cream should. Cushiony, hydrating. The kind of thing where you go to sleep and you wake up, and your skin simply looks rested and smoother. Rosy proves the brand that's been quietly doing the work for decades can outperform the brands that have just been loudly charging you for the idea of it. And number 1, the best of them all, in my opinion, CeraVe. This one was developed with dermatologists, and it's built around ceramides, which are the exact lipids your skin naturally loses as it ages. That's not marketing. That's the actual biology of getting older, addressed head-on. It's fragrance-free, it's built to repair your skin barrier, and the skin-renewing retinol serum and the moisturizers run you around $15 to $20. Dermatologists recommend this brand more than just about anything else on the planet. It is genuinely the holy grail that just happens to live on the drugstore shelf. And it doesn't tingle to make you think it's working. It doesn't perfume itself to feel fancy. It doesn't put on a performance. It just quietly rebuilds your skin barrier so your face feels comfortable, soft, less tight, and less crepey, day after day after day. CeraVe is the one I keep in my own cabinet. It's the one I'd put right into my own sister's hands. And it proves, better than anything else in this entire video, that real quality never once needed to lie to you to earn your money. So there it is, laid out plain. On one side, SK2, Dr. Barbara Sturm, La Prairie, Augustinus Bader, that little brown bottle, and the queen of them all, La Mer. 6 brands that, in my opinion, have been selling women over 50 the packaging and quietly pocketing the difference. And on the other side, The Ordinary, Neutrogena, Olay, Rossi, and CeraVe. 5 brands that put the real, proven ingredients right into your hands for the price of a sandwich. And the moral of all of this is the oldest one in the book. They were never actually selling you younger skin. They were selling you a feeling. The feeling that spending more meant you cared more. That the heavier the jar, the more you loved yourself. And it simply is not true. So be honest with me now, before you go. That fancy jar sitting on your shelf, are you throwing it out tonight, or are you going to keep using it anyway? Tell me down below. No wrong answer. I just genuinely want to know where you land on this. And here's what I really want you to do tonight. Go open that cabinet. Read the price you paid out loud to yourself, and then read the list of what you actually got. And the next time you're standing in that aisle, walk right on past the gold lids and the whispered French names, and you reach for the plain little tube that actually works. Now tell me, which brand did I leave out? Which one have you always quietly suspected was robbing you? And what do you want me to put under the microscope next? Luxury makeup? Celebrity fragrances? Those $200 wellness supplements your favorite influencer keeps pushing? Drop it in the comments because you write the next video on this channel, not me. If this saved you from even one bad purchase, do me a favor, like it, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss what we expose next week. And trust me, next week's is a big one. Because here, we do not worship the label, we read it. This is Beauty After 50, where we age on our own terms, spend like we've got nothing left to prove, and never once let a pretty little jar tell us what we're worth. I'll see you in the next one.